Today we have Pete Fedek, the gold wizard of KARATBARS. So welcome back, Pete. And what is the list or agenda of bullet points for us to cover today?
Well, Dr. Bill, I apologize, but I was unable to prepare one today because I was at the eye doctor today, and so I'm functionally blind for a few hours because he dilated my pupils.
Well, that's not a problem because we've had a lot of questions, so you've been answering questions, and I'm sure it's like playing racquetball. I'm sure you've been in the court before, so you're going to be fine even if you don't have sight.
That's right. That's right.
So let's start off with one of the first questions people ask is, why would I do KARATBARS rather than Bitcoin or just fractional reserve currency? And why don't I just buy gold if I want to buy gold? And, of course, I tell people we're not precluding you from buying gold or collectibles or, up in the hills getting a still and starting to get your own moonshine to save for a Armageddon day. I tell people it's okay to have, emergency medical supplies, for example. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have emergency medical supplies besides our Nutrimeds. I do have gold and silver, but I think even superior is the replacement currency, just like we talk about replacement power with Wing Generator, replacement medicine with Nutrimeds, where you actually deal with the health problem. What we're dealing with is a whole new economy. So tell us, why would somebody want to do KARATBARS versus Bitcoin, which of course has had some big troubles lately, or any fractional reserve currency? What's the, people who haven't listened before to the show, why would they do that?
Well, first of all, fractional reserve currencies and even Bitcoin are technically fiat. They only exist in your mind in terms of worth and value. Right. As long as people believe that, we can continue to function on those, but in reality, especially the fractional reserve stuff is losing value on a daily basis, and as you have pointed out many times, in particular, the U.S. dollar is losing value. It's just losing value slower than other national currencies like the euro or the yen or and the ruble.
Yeah, for example,
and so
just
forth.
in the last 2 weeks, when people were purchasing a bronze package, it went from $113 U.S. to $106 yesterday. So what's going on? All the currencies are dropping. The dollar is dropping the least fast. And next to the euro, currencies are falling really fast now are the renminbi or yen from China because their stock market lost 35%. I mean, that was several crashes in China. The markets in Japan are terrible. All the BRICS nations' currencies are collapsing like a deck of cards. And it's not going to be long before the dollar has a significant devaluation. And what will happen is, the first step is to get rid of cash itself. And, of course, they've been wanting to do this for 30 years. Published reports from the Council on Foreign Relations, from the World Watch Institute, from Bilderberger, etc., is they want to get rid of cash because they want total control. We see it through the smart grid system. We see it through the smart computer systems that Google has now and surveillance that Microsoft has in computers. What I tell people is it's time for us to, quote, disconnect from the healthcare system to use only, as a highly informed person, what's good in healthcare, and I tell them what to do, what 20% of drugs and only maybe a 10% of surgeries are necessary or efficient at specific times, and nutraceuticals should be used like molecular surgery, if you want to call it. Then we have to disconnect from the geopolitical system by saying, hey, we need to start challenging people in court with jurisdictionary, where we deal with the, we call the underbelly of the political system, not determining, say, I want to see if someone elected is going to shake it up like Trump. But to be honest with you, things are shaken up when we get to the courts. I want to also see a new economic system which is based on credit. And the Bitcoin has a number of features that no other economic system now or even in the ancient past is equivalent to. It has gold, which means you can't print a whole lot of it. It's right now is a gold savings club, but at the end of the year it's going to have a gold currency. The other thing that's going to happen is there'll be gold vendors that'll accept KARATBAR currency as payment for, say, airline tickets or Amazon or hardware stores or whatever. And here at Nutrimedical, when it becomes available, we will accept KARATBAR currency as tender, electronic tender, which will be fractional grams of gold. It'll also be available through, as we mentioned before, working behind the scenes at kiosks that will allow you to actually purchase and transfer funds to banks, get fractional reserve currency in whatever country you're in, or KARATBARS or KARATBAR currency. And then the piece de resistance will be not only moving into a full, what I call, credit system, where KARATBARS will be the gold tally stick for an electronic credit barter system, where people can actually create credit literally out of thin air by them providing goods and services, so they don't have to have fractional reserve notes or debt or loans. They can actually create credit by actually purchasing and providing goods and services on a bartering system where we rate the barterer and the barteree, so the buyer and seller are both rated. And where I see this going is you can build up, number one, a gold savings account. You can build up a currency in your MasterCard debit card in Germany once it's registered, which you get right after you get your package. And then eventually we're going to have KARATBAR vendors that will accept it as exchange. And then finally, people will actually be able to set up employ themselves by providing credit on a bartering system. And that's going to take a whole new parallel economy that's completely encrypted and away from the taxing devices of various countries, unless you want to pay your tax, away from the snooping eyes of the NSA and any secret agency on the planet, because it changes the encryption string every transaction. And where I see this all going is we are going to do a replacement economy for the fractional reserve system that always drives us to disaster and war. And that's what we're doing here in Nutrimedical. We're providing you actual solutions for your health, your spirituality, and now your financial system. And KARATBARS is a massive movement in that direction.
Amen. You referred to in the beginning why would we get KARATBARS versus a fractional reserve currency or Bitcoin or so forth. Like I say, all those everything else but gold is simply a currency. Currencies ultimately do not have a long-term store of wealth. That's the biggest difference between what's called currency and what's called money. Gold has been money for thousands of years, and always will be, because it's limited. It has to be mined. It has to be refined. It has to be taken out of the ground, and somebody has to put labor to it.
And the final pinch point is it has to be certified by the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association, and because of those multiple levels, gold is not unlimited. In fact, I think if you took the total amount of gold mined in the world right from the ancient times to now, it would not fill the ground on a football stadium more than, I think, was it 8 or 10 feet high?
Correct.
It's not very much.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And what KARATBARS has on top of all this is, number one, it's gold. It's money. But number two, it's also fungible. A gram of gold in your pocket will get the same amount of goods as a gram of gold in your pocket. That's still similar to currency, in that $1 in your pocket will buy as much as $1 in my pocket would. But the difference being that, number one, it's a store of value. Number two, it's usable, and it's a lot more usable than an ounce of gold would be. You can't today go down to a grocery store with a gold ounce, an ounce of American Gold Eagle, and expect to pay for your groceries with that coin and actually get the market value of that gold. It's stamped with a face value on it. It's minted by a government, so a government that mints something can also recall that very same item. And it may not be very practical to do, but it can be done.
Yeah. Good example is what happened to silver coins years ago, where there's more value in the silver of the silver market than the actual minted value on the coin of silver, the 10-cent piece, years ago. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Back in a moment. If you have questions, we're open here at 800-259-5791. Again, we provide answers and solutions to your personal and world problems here at Nutrimedical and Clay and Iron. Back in a moment with Unity. It is so simple to get involved. You can register, and the steps that we talk about, you can get registered without anything, no charge, nothing. Then you want to get a package, which the bronze is, I think, $106 now, which will mean you get 5% of your downline to infinity of all the points. And we'd like to maybe discuss this point system because it's pretty different. Technically, KARATBARS is not a multi-level because you don't have to buy anything. Once you can register and don't do anything, or you can just buy some KARATBAR cards. if you wish to do that. The dual system basically is where you make money, where you have a KARATBAR card in MasterCard in Germany. Every Friday they take your points, calculate out your deposit in your Friday night account, and your debit card is deposited every Friday, depending on your downline of whether they have an auto ship weekly or monthly of, say, a gram of gold or more each month of yourself and your downline. You have a left and right leg. They have a left and right leg, and if you sponsor just one more person a month, and they do the same thing as you, let's say a bronze package, which is lowest level, just get 1 gram of gold, which is about $53 a month, and each person on their left and right leg, they replicate that again every month in 12 months. You're going to be making a significant income. And we tell people that's only the step 1, I call, of KARATBAR. Step 2 is KARATBAR vendors that are going to start accepting KARATBAR currency, not the gold face value of the gold in it, but the actual value added of the KARATBAR currency. And step 3 is the KARATBAR bartering system, where you can literally create money. And as I mentioned, I was talking to my dentist this morning, getting my last crown after I get my amalgams out. Dr. Jeffrey Curbs, and he's an amazing dentist, cosmetic biological dentist in Escondido. And I explained to him that this system originated in Germany with our KARATBARS idea. Stage 3, it means that you can literally, say, deposit 5,000 points for dental care. If you've already been rated by previous customers, you can deposit a certain amount based on what's called a deposit and a sales curve, we call it. And you literally will have credit to purchase other things on the KARATBARS network, including airline tickets, Amazon, hardware stores, groceries. What's going to happen is this will replace the other attempts to create alternative currencies to the Federal Reserve note, which are cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and 11 other currencies. This is going to be the winner. And I can tell you that right now, because of its features, including not only a non-fractional reserve currency with real gold in it, and KARATBAR notes and bars, but the idea of kiosks to exchange it to a fractional reserve currency if you need that, and the idea of vendors accepting as direct currency, not completely sidestepping fractional reserve currency, and then a credit system where a mother can literally generate credit so she can purchase other things on our KARATBARS bartering system. This means a whole new economy where people can literally create employment of themselves or goods and services in any country in the world in a stable worldwide currency. That's radical, isn't it?
Absolutely radical. What I might point out is the reason KARATBARS is a real solution is that it's real money. It's based on real money.
Right.
And KARATBARS allows anyone, if they so choose, to not only be a customer, but also to earn their way to what I would call perpetually free gold, and that is where you're taking nothing out of pocket. You're just earning commissions, and you're saving gold by way of commissions, and therefore not actually paying for the gold out of pocket. You're paying for it out of commissions, which is clear and above what you have made in commissions, what you have made above and beyond the price of that gold. Right. And that can turn into a substantial income as well as perpetually free gold. And that also uses the principle of leverage, where you can get paid up to infinity by the efforts of others many generations away from you, if you will.
How does that number system work? For example, you get points based on packages and gold purchases on the auto ship weekly or monthly. We have one gentleman, Kino, in New York, actually. He signed up one day, and within the next day had 10 people he was already talking to about signing up. And he's encouraging them all to purchase gold weekly. So they'll be on a weekly purchase, auto purchase. His system will build very quickly. They had one lady last year that built a network of 17,000 people. And I would, hazard a guess that she's probably got a 10-figure income now, which is in the millions.
That may well be. That may well be. And so it is entirely possible. I've been involved in MLM myself over the course of time, and have done actually pretty average to disastrous in terms of building anything that had any substantial run with it. And KARATBARS is different because it's not based on a product that's consumable, that is a fad. And have nothing against nutrition. In fact, that's why one of the reasons I'm on the show is the nutritional side. But at the end of the month, you don't have a product left. You've consumed the product, now you have to buy more.
Right.
And most of those opportunities are based on people buying that product over and over. And that's all well and good. And a lot of people do very good in those. But with KARATBARS, you're actually saving money. You're not spending it. You're actually putting something, exchanging what's becoming worthless for something that is real and preserves.
And it's not going to change. Power. For example, I get a kick out of all the other companies that try to compete with Dr. Deagle and our nutraceuticals, because I have 26,500 doctors just at our Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, plus I belong to the Academy of Environmental and Advancement in Medicine. And these doctors and scientists around the world, I gather and private label or custom design myself the top nutraceuticals. So there really is no competition. They pretend to and they market. But you need a comprehensive, we call protocol, that's custom designed for each person. And they're far superior to somebody flogging one vitamin or one nutritional and say this is the cure-all for everything. I don't believe in, quote, a single magic or silver bullet. I believe in magic, silver bullets. A custom designed to your specific needs, which may change in 2 to 4 months. And for that reason, there is a cost, but the benefit is the most important thing you're saving is not even just gold and silver, it's your health. I've seen people spend, in this interesting statement, spend their life and their health trying to get wealth, and then spending their wealth trying to get their health back. What you want to do is do both. Switch to Nutrimeds and get your health back. At the same time, start a KARATBAR business so that if you're in a MIC job and you're just going from paycheck to paycheck, the average American is 2 paychecks to 3 paychecks to disaster. The average senior citizen now, approaching senior citizen, only has half of the population has less than $10,000 saved. A lot of people don't own their home even when they're approaching seniors. They should be in a home. Even if they get what we call a reverse mortgage, they've got money then to pay if they have an emergency. And we now know even with Obamacare, if you don't have the money for the co-pays, you can't even do the procedures. So people don't realize that our country is rapidly approaching destitution. And I learned a very important principle. I remember working when I was first doing my biochemistry degree on the railway. It was first years I was doing my biochemistry degree back in the early 70s. And I remember one guy on the railway, he always saved more than anybody else. I mean, he spent very little, and he worked his tail off for years. He had millions in the bank, and he worked in the railway. Millions. And I've seen other people rich that spent every dollar they had, and they were destitute after years and years of riding high. So, got to start saving.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Ouch! My back is out again.
Hi, Dr. Ortman with Wellspring Spinal Care. If you're experiencing neck, mid, or lower back pain, this information is for you. One of the complaints that I hear is patients receive their typical adjustment, only having to repeat them as the pain returns. Putting the bones back in place is only half of the battle. At Wellspring Spinal Care, we have the entire solution. We use the NUCA approach, utilizing 3-dimensional x-rays and gentle touch technology to deliver specific correction. We then design a custom nutritional supplement program which provides essential nutrients targeting the areas of concern. With a NUCA approach and proper nutrition, you'll be on your way to a faster and more permanent recovery. To get you on the road to wellness, visit drortman.com. That's drortman.com, or call us today, 952-303-9124. That's 952-303-9124. Wellspring Spinal Care, chiropractic done right.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to ourflags.com, that's R like rebel, R, the letter R, ourflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? Ourflags.com, that's ourflags.com. Go now.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are GCN.
And welcome back. And Pete, I think what people should realize is, for example, yesterday we had Professor Jim McCanney, who's regularly on the show. I got him signed up, and he's actually signed up directly under Michelle in her right leg. Now, you have a left and right leg. We will be putting people under Professor McCanney, like, immediately. And what will happen, he will be putting people, because he has his own radio show and his own websites. And the collaboration between us and Professor McCanney, he'll build a significant downline in the next, 6 months to a year, and a significant stream of income that will be deposited on Fridays in his MasterCard in Germany every Friday as he calculated his points. So let's describe the point system. I think he told me right away he's going to get a silver package to start with, although he can upgrade to the gold or VIP. What that means, the point system is to infinity, which is pretty amazing, because many quote, this is not an MLM technically, but MLM-like because it's a binary. To have it to infinity is pretty remarkable, which means no matter how far down, 2 or 3 years from now, if you're joining Nutrimedical and our downline, we're going to build it with you, and you'll be adding people, and we're going to show you how to build your business, how to get people the vision of those 3 steps: a gold savings club, the idea of gold KARATBAR vendors that'll actually be accepting the currency of KARATBARS, not the value of just the gold in it, but the value of the KARATBAR value added in currency, and finally KARATBAR bartering, which is going to be a whole new parallel credit-based economy worldwide. And KARATBARS is in 126 countries, I think now, 124 countries, and expanding so quickly. I mean, I'm sure they're having trouble with just their servers handling the volume of activity. It's just pretty incredible, isn't it?
It is, and actually I've heard right now we're down to 119 countries. That's not KARATBARS doing. KARATBARS has been effectively forced to not to do business in certain countries because of political activity and attempted lawmaking to dissuade people from ordering gold and taking delivery. But
actually, they have. Interestingly, they had laws in both India and China against using we call even purchasing regular gold for delivery in these countries. But it still happens behind the scenes, because what's going on is people know that the regular fractional reserve currencies, and that means all currencies are collapsing. And when that major collapse happens, and it's going to, I call collapses, the first one I expect within 90 days. And that's not just a prediction, that's a prophetic warning as well as a prediction from Gerald Celente and all the other financial experts that by this fall there's going to be a major correction of the world currencies. It's already happening, not going to happen with the BRICS nations, but it's going to spread like Greece. When they get that $72 billion bailout, only $9 billion of that dollars went to the Greek people. The rest went back to pay off the loans. So what's going to happen is eventually the game's going to be up. The Jenga sticks are going to pull, and you're going to start seeing currencies like a wave of tsunami, a building wave of disaster starting to bail in people's money and grab their pension funds and their bank deposits and say it's an unsecured investment. Which means if you have money stuck in the bank, that's why even people are talking about, and I was reading today in one of my internet things, that they're setting up IRAs where you actually get the gold and you actually get it in a deposit box, which in your physical possession. So a lot of people are trying to move into gold IRAs. There's a company now that does that, will actually give you the physical gold to put in a deposit box that you're in control of. That's better, but even better still is a parallel economy that can't be hacked and can't be grabbed and can't be devalued and can't be seized, because it's actual physical gold and not fractional reserve notes printed by the government or a government affiliate agency like the non-federal, non-reserve. So people don't realize this real disaster is coming, and it's going to make the 1929 crash seem like a garden party, and it's going to come in waves of disaster. It won't just come in one. It'll come in waves over a period of years. But these waves will be, if we get a cold and our currencies divide 5 or 10 or 20%, other currencies will drop 90%. And that's going to be absolutely catastrophic, which also brings famine, war, revolution, and pestilence and death. And people say, that can't happen. That is the pattern that has always happened. This is not a new pattern. This is the pattern.
Well, I'd like to focus a little bit on how both the point system and the unit system work with KARATBARS, because people should understand a little bit about the opportunity that they have with this.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we have a caller. We have a caller, Arthur from Newport, Rhode Island, okay. And in fact, he's on that line. I want you to explain the opportunity first, and then we'll bring Arthur from Newport, Rhode Island, to kind of state a specific question.
Okay. Well, there are effectively two compensation plans at work. The first is called a unilevel plan. That's where everybody you bring to the table, whether a customer or an affiliate, and everybody that they might in turn bring to the table as a customer or affiliate who buys gold or commissionable products, generates what are called points. And every €2 that are spent equals 1 point. And so that system pays out on a monthly basis, one time per month, and it's based on the number of points you accumulate on a given month, which determines your rank. And then that system pays out on a 0.5% to 6% based on your rank. And so the more points you have, of course, the higher your rank, the higher the commission rate for those gold purchases. In parallel, what I might call the income acceleration plan is what is called the dual team system. That's where you have a right leg and a left leg, and that also goes to infinity, whether it's somebody that you brought in or that they subsequently brought in as a customer or as an affiliate, or somebody upline to you that places somebody into your group. Because it is a dual team system, a right and a left, you can only have two sides. You can't have four sides. Right. And so anything that happens after the right and left goes down underneath somebody that's either on your right or on your left. So in other words,
you only succeed when you help other people succeed by sponsoring people under them.
That's
so they
correct.
Build a downline, in other words.
That's correct. So the unit system is everything has a unit value. For instance, a gram of gold is 1 unit. A 5-gram card is 3 units. A bronze package is 5 units. A VIP, which is the top of the compensation plan, and that is 100 units. And so every time that you accumulate 50 units on one side of your business and 25 on the other, and it doesn't matter which side is which, you accumulate effectively 75 units and you cycle out when there's 50 and 25 on a side. And every time that you cycle, you generate what's called a cycle commission. And that cycle commission is effectively whatever you want it to be. We have a bronze, silver, gold, and VIP, which is the top. And so you choose between 10 euro, 40 euro, 60 euro, or 80 euro per cycle. And that happens based on the package that you decide to come in at. So a lot of people choose to come in right at the top. Right. There's no reason not to get the CEO pay right off the bat.
Right. So for example, when I cycle 50 units on one and 25 on the other, you get 80 euros payout when it cycles that Friday, depositing in your MasterCard. One of the questions that Arthur from Newport had, and I'll just frame it, and I want him to say it too, he wants to know if you need to maintain a certain level of sales in order to succeed, or do you get dropped from the program? Well, you never get dropped from the program, but can you answer that question? You don't have to maintain a level of sales. You can take vacation off, and you'll still be able to downline. If you're not cycling because one of your legs is not got enough points, as soon as you get active or you get other people on that other leg, so you start to cycle, even if you're not sponsoring, but people downline if you are, you're going to get deposits in your account, which means as you build a business, you'll go faster, but we will be putting people under you, and those people may be goers and develop a network. And as they build downline, you will get points. Even if you personally aren't working at it, you never get dropped, and you always build points, and you're always going to get a deposit if you build a downline. Amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we'll bring Arthur on just from Newport, Rhode Island. Arthur, you have a couple of questions on the KARATBAR business. Go ahead. We have Pete, the wizard of KARATBARS, available to tell you.
Yes, Dr. Bill, thank you. I have one question. With these affiliate-type programs, network marketing-type programs, usually there's a rank structure or level of participation structure. And my question is, do you need to maintain a certain level of sales to maintain a certain rank?
That is only partially true with KARATBARS, but you're not penalized so much as it just earns you less if you don't maintain. First and foremost, everything in KARATBARS is pretty much optional. You register, it's free. You never have to re-register to stay active in the business. You never have to buy a package more than one time. If the package system with the dual team system is optional. If you want to participate, you have to buy a package, but you don't have to keep buying the package on a yearly, quarterly, or a monthly basis or anything like that. You don't have to buy gold, although I don't know why somebody would get a package and then never buy gold. But you could technically work the business and never buy gold. There is no requirement to buy the gold.
Okay. Technically, you could actually just sit there, get a package after you sign up, now early on in what Nutrimedical is doing, because we're dynamic. Whatever we do, we touch, it's going to expand. So down in a year from now, when we have thousands of downline, if you've signed up, and either with now or even 6 months from now, and it's still going to expand even faster, especially as these new things come about like KARATBAR vendors and KARATBAR electronic bartering system. What that means is even if you did nothing, which is theoretically possible, you're still going to make an income. But you make a lot more if you're involved with the unilevel system and the dually system, if you actually sponsor people yourself and train them to get a package, start signing up for gold monthly or weekly. Our guy Kino in New York, who actually has a exotic fruit stand in New York, and he's a real good business guy. And within a day after signing up, he was already talking to a dozen people almost about signing up and having them purchase gold weekly, which you can do in an auto weekly system. And if they just get a bronze package, which you can upgrade at any time to the silver, gold, or VIP, you're going to make considerable income just by building a network of savers to save gold, and to build a network of people that are encouraging other people to do the same. Because as the currencies collapse, and it's my prediction that the dollar will lose about 20% of its value this fall. That's my prediction. Again, I'm amalgamating the analysis of a whole bunch of different financial experts. Now, it may not seem evident to people. You'll see smaller sizes of products. You'll see them being sneaky about how they market it and so on. But you're going to see a contraction of the value of the dollar. We have a government that's out of control. Under Obama, he's spent more debt than all the previous presidents in history, so he's crossed the 20 trillion debt mark. But the problem isn't just here. The same thing goes on with Europe, which is why Europe is being unreasonable, even when the IMF told the European Central Bank to literally write off a lot of the debt so Greece could literally get back and get some breathing space to start growing its economy. With this credit system I'm talking about with KARATBARS, every economy, you can be an island economy out in the middle of the Philippines, and you can start building an economy because you can provide goods and services, and you won't have somebody like the European Central Bank saying you can't sell more than a certain quota of goat cheese and olives, which is what they actually did to the Greeks. I mean, how crazy. Some of the best products in the world, and their tourism, and they limited them so they don't have the ability to grow their economy, because the best way to ensure your financial future is not to just watch your expenses. It's to grow your personal economy and to grow the economy of the people around you, so the velocity of money maintains and a population is not in debt, and because the debt eventually is going to crush the population. And the bankers and the politicians have been electing themselves by printing money, and that day is over. I mean, Obama is what I call the last give me more stuff politician. We see it happening in Canada. My brother-in-law, Wayne Fayander, was the assistant to the Premier of Nova Scotia for several terms, a Conservative Premier. And he's told me, like, face-to-face, that Canada has really gone down the rabbit hole. And a lot of other countries have. They basically get into the place where politicians, and in the province of Nova Scotia, they've elected what's called the NDP, or New Democratic Party. What that's done, which is really bad, is that people elect politicians to give them stuff because their own personal finances are so bad. They want the government to bail them out with more, give me more stuff and print more money. And that can't go on forever because, the fact is that's why our infrastructure is falling apart. The bridge that goes off of I-10 across the Mojave Desert, they're not repairing it. So while Obama's sitting there giving $100 billion for cap and trade to double or triple our power bills, they don't have the money to fix the bridge, so we're losing 1% of our GDP per week because the bridge off I-10 coming out of the Port Authority of Los Angeles, which is the busiest port in the United States, is not operational for another 3 months. Is that stupid? Yeah, Obama couldn't operate an ice cream stand on a beach on a hot day. He'd say somebody kicked the cord and the ice cream all melted. That's the facts. So, Arthur, do you have any questions about the business? Because I'm telling you, I've analyzed it, and that I've got what's called the capacity. With all the guests that I've had over the years, I'm like my father and my great-grandfather, who was Sir Sanford Fleming, who built the railway across Canada and invented standard time. I'm an adaptive person, and when I absorb these things, I look and I say, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. This is going to allow people to generate savings, barter eventually, but also you get vendors like, build up KARATBAR cash and be able to purchase goods at, say, Amazon or grocery stores or hardware stores, or to create their own economy. Let's say they have a product. For example, Amazon people think is, the big bad store. You can actually start creating products you could sell on Amazon, and you could sell it and buy it and sell it with KARATBAR currency. So this is all going to eventually fuse together where people can have a credit-based economy and sell on virtual networks, whether it's eBay or Amazon, or create their own stores. And Amazon's not going to be the only kid on the block either. The thing is, though, KARATBARS is going to be the first and biggest, strongest currency system alternative to reserve currencies. And it's already in 119 countries. It wasn't 124, but they knocked it out because there's pushback because the governments and the banks are freaked out by KARATBARS. And they should be, because, to be honest with you, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, they have all kinds of negatives. They're going to be, the encryption algorithms that they have will eventually be broken, or there'll be new algorithms, which means they're going to have new ways of what we call mining currency. Number two, they've already had significant devaluation of cryptocurrencies because people want to see actual intrinsic value in it, like KARATBARS, which has a limited physical content. And they don't have the ability to kind of connect it to bartering or creating an alternative economy. It's still based on the fractional reserve system in a sense. It's just a cryptocurrency that is, in a sense, a shadow of fractional reserve currencies. What KARATBARS is a completely new currency system. That's what's amazing about it.
I would like to just finish up what I was explaining to Arthur, and that is that there are no website fees. There's no yearly re-registration fee. And in particular, one of the things that I think is most attractive about the way the compensation program works is if you've ever seen another binary system before, one of the reasons they are very much on the outs is that you had to perform in a certain amount of time, and anything that was left on the table was flushed out, and the company kept it.
Right.
With KARATBARS, you accumulate units by the units of work that you do. You effectively, for lack of a better word, you bank those units. The units never go away until you personally go in and cycle them out. So if it takes you a month, or it takes you 3 months, or even a year or more, those units will still be there until you come back and go to work and start balancing out and cycling those out.
Yeah, let's say you build up 3,000 units on one leg and you don't have enough units on the other leg to cycle because one leg was all people that we put from Nutrimedical, and you decide, hey, I'm going to start sponsoring people because I got 3,000 units that if I cycle, that's real money. I can get KARATBAR currency, I can get euros, I can get dollars, I can get British pound sterling, and you start cycling and say, oh my gosh, the debit card on Friday says I got this amount of money. You can now, with things like the kiosk we're talking about with Pete, you're going to be able to go to a kiosk in multiple countries and actually get KARATBARS, real KARATBAR currency with gold in it, fractional reserve currency, and with any denomination on earth, do bank transfers securely to any bank on the planet. This is very radical stuff. You know, people, and we talked about this with Professor McCann. He'll be back to talk about announcing what he's doing, but he's going to do a big announcement of his downline, which is inside ours, on his radio show, and he'll be back on this week. I'll try to get him on again today in the hour 3 today if we can get Professor McCann, because he gets it. You know, I mean, we got a true genius in astrophysics, quantum mechanics, and who he gets the financial side of how important this is. So get in now, work hard, and you'll be amazed at what it's going to become. Pete will be back